Have you ever noticed that the moment you stop trying so hard, the very thing you wanted finally shows up? It's almost as if the universe was waiting for you to let go, to stop forcing, to stop chasing, before it could finally deliver what was already yours. That's not just a coincidence. It's a hidden law, a forgotten truth, one that was kept from humanity for centuries, not because it's too complex, but because it puts your power back in your own hands, and those in control would rather you never discover it. Thoth, the ancient master of wisdom, taught this law in sacred places long ago, and it is as real today as it was then. It's not a theory or metaphor. It's a living principle that governs everything. Once you understand it, your life begins to shift in ways that feel almost magical, not because things suddenly change outside of you, but because you've changed within. It's called the reverse law, and it works like this. The more you chase after something, the more it runs from you. But when you stop chasing, when you let go with trust and inner peace, the very things you longed for begin to flow into your life, naturally, easily, and without force. This law is dangerous to the current system because it sets you free. It pulls you out of a world that worships struggle, control, and endless effort, and it brings you back to the truth. You don't need to fight for what's already aligned with you. You only need to stop resisting it. But here's the shocking part. You're already using this law every day, just unconsciously. You've been using it in reverse. And that's why you keep running into blocks, delays, scarcity, and emotional pain. You've been pushing so hard, trying to create your reality through control, when the real secret is in letting go. Now, I'm going to show you how Thoth actually taught this law, not as a vague idea, but as a practical path. I'll walk you through real examples, a simple exercise you can try today, and a shift in perspective that will unlock the invisible support that's already moving around you. But stay until the end, because the final key, the one that ties it all together, is what transforms knowledge into power. And without that, everything else remains just a nice idea. This isn't about thinking positively. It's about returning to the vibration of trust and alignment, the only place from which true creation happens. Have you ever tried for weeks to fix a problem? Overthinking it, exhausting yourself, worrying nonstop, only for it to remain stuck? And then one day, you're too tired to care anymore. You surrender, and suddenly, without warning, the solution appears. Someone calls. A door opens. You see a detail you missed. It's like the universe was waiting the whole time for you to stop fighting. That moment, when you stop pushing and start allowing, is what Thoth called conscious surrender. And it's one of the most powerful forces in the universe, not because it creates something new, but because it allows what was already there to come through. This isn't magic. It's alignment. When your energy is tense, anxious, or filled with need, your vibration creates chaos. You might say all the right words, but your field is sending out fear, doubt, and control. And the universe doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to how you feel deep down. But when you let go, not in defeat, but with faith, your vibration shifts. It becomes open, balanced, and quiet. And in that stillness, the universe moves toward you, not because it wasn't there before, but because you finally got out of the way. The universe is not waiting for your effort. It's waiting for your permission. And your permission comes the moment you stop trying to control the outcome and start trusting the process. This surrender isn't giving up. It's giving over. Giving over your fear, your need to control, your resistance, so that something higher can take its place. It's not laziness. It's not passivity. It's wisdom. The wisdom to know when your energy is blocking your blessing. Imagine a farmer planting seeds. He doesn't dig them up every day to see if they're growing. He doesn't shout at the soil. He waters them, then trusts the sun, the soil, and the seasons to do their part. He doesn't panic when he doesn't see results right away because he understands timing. Your desires are no different. They're seeds. And if you dig them up with anxiety every day, you disturb the very process that would have brought them to life. But modern life has conditioned you to fear the unknown, to doubt the silence, to distrust anything you can't control. And so we force, we chase, we try to shape life by sheer will. And when it doesn't work, we assume something's wrong with us. But Thoth warned us, control is the root of suffering. The more we try to dominate the flow of life, the more disconnected we become from it. The real creator doesn't control. The real creator collaborates. The real creator knows when to act and when to step back. You may think you need to do more, but often, doing less with greater presence changes everything. You may think you need to try harder, but trying harder often means trying from fear, which blocks results. You may think letting go means losing, but in truth, letting go is how you finally receive. And you've seen it. The moments in your life when you were calm, open, and not pushing, things flowed. People helped. Opportunities found you. The right words came to you. But when you panicked, forced, or obsessed, everything froze. This isn't coincidence. It's the reverse law, always in motion, whether you recognize it or not. But here's the deeper truth that Thoth revealed. If effort doesn't shape your reality, then what does? The answer lies in your energy. More specifically, your subconscious vibration. Thoth taught that within each of us is a silent field, what we now call the subconscious mind. It's not influenced by your surface thoughts. It's influenced by your deepest feelings. And it's that field that shapes your outer reality. You can repeat affirmations all day. You can say, I am wealthy, or I am loved. But if your subconscious is filled with fear, doubt, or scarcity, it will override your words every time. Your subconscious is like soil. It doesn't care what seed you meant to plant. It grows what you actually planted. And what you plant is determined by what you feel to be true in your quiet moments, the ones no one else sees. If you feel abandoned, you attract people who reinforce that story. If you feel lack, you create situations that prove it. If you feel trust, peace, and confidence, you begin to experience a life that reflects those qualities back to you, even when you don't see results immediately. Most people don't understand this. They say they want success, but vibrate with fear. They ask for love, but vibrate with need. They wish for peace, but live in anxiety. And the subconscious doesn't judge. It simply obeys. That's why you may have done all the right things and still felt stuck. Because deep down, your energy was misaligned. You were trying to create a new result with the same old vibration. and the universe, always loyal to the truth of your frequency, simply responded accordingly. But once you understand this, really understand it, you are free. You no longer have to force. You no longer have to exhaust yourself trying to make life bend to your will. You simply become aligned. You let go. You trust the law. You surrender the noise. You silence the panic. You open your heart and clear the clutter from your mind. And in that quiet, open space, the universe enters. The flow returns. The blessings you chased begin to appear, not because you begged harder, but because you finally became a space where they could land. This is not wishful thinking. This is ancient law. This is how reality has always worked beneath the surface. The reverse law doesn't require you to believe in it. It works with or without your permission. But now that you know, you don't have to live in resistance anymore. You don't have to chase what's already yours. You don't have to panic when things feel slow. You don't have to fear that you're being left behind. You only have to trust. Trust the flow. Trust your timing. Trust your vibration. Because what's meant for you is not ahead of you, waiting to be earned. It's all around you, waiting for you to receive. So let go, be still, and watch what happens next. Now take a moment to imagine the complete opposite of what most people believe about creating change in life. Instead of trying harder, pushing more, or chasing faster, imagine the power of doing something different. Imagine feeling absolutely certain inside, even when everything on the outside tells you the opposite. Imagine holding a deep inner calm while the world around you spins in confusion and noise. Imagine feeling truly grateful for something that hasn't even happened yet, but still knowing in your heart that it's already yours. This is the moment where everything begins to shift. Because when your heart is peaceful and your mind is no longer chasing or resisting, your energy becomes clear. There's no pressure, no panic, no tight grip on how things must unfold. You're simply resting in a quiet certainty. And that's when the invisible world starts to work. That's when your vibration aligns with a higher frequency, and life begins responding in ways that can seem almost magical. But they aren't magic. They're natural. They follow a divine law that's always been present, even if few have truly understood it. But let's be clear. This doesn't mean you pretend everything's okay when it's not. This isn't about denial. It's not about closing your eyes and ignoring reality. It's not about faking happiness or lying to yourself. It's about being fully present with what is, seeing everything clearly, and still choosing not to let it control you. You acknowledge what's happening in your external world, but you don't let it shake the foundation of your inner world. You keep your focus on what you're creating, not what's missing. You allow the present to be what it is, while still holding the vision of what you know is coming. And in that sacred balance, the ground of your subconscious stays fertile. You become like a calm field waiting for seeds to bloom. You stop digging, and instead you start trusting. You stop trying to make things happen through pressure, and you allow life to unfold from a higher rhythm. This is what Thoth called the sacred paradox, the divine truth that when you let go, everything arrives. The moment you stop needing what you were so desperate for, life begins to bring it to you effortlessly. Not because you're being tested or punished, but because you're no longer blocking the flow. It seems strange at first, even absurd, because we've been taught the opposite since we were children. We've been told that success comes to those who push harder, who struggle longer, who fight more fiercely, that the person who suffers the most deserves the reward, that the one who never gives up is the one who wins. But Thoth shared a different wisdom, a wisdom that shows the path of creation is not built on force, but on harmony, not on struggle, but on alignment, not on desperation, but on peace. Think about it. How many times in your life did something finally happen only after you stopped waiting, after you stopped trying to control it? How many times did an answer show up just when you had made peace with not having it? How often did someone important return the moment you stopped looking? How many blessings arrived when you stopped forcing and started flowing? Those moments weren't coincidences. They were the natural result of the law working silently. In the background, the moment you stopped interfering. Because while you were trying to control everything, your vibration was full of tension. But when you let go, your energy softened. The invisible realm could finally respond to you because your frequency finally matched what you were asking for. Thoth said the universe cannot move when your hands are clenched, when you're gripping something tightly, whether it's a desire, a dream, a person, or a fear. There's no space for the universe to place anything new in your life. But the moment you open your hands, when you surrender the need to control, that's when life moves. That's when the divine steps in. It's like standing in a flowing river. If you try to grab the water, it slips through your fingers. But if you remain open, the river moves around you, through you, with you. Letting go isn't about abandoning what you want. It's not giving up on your vision or settling for less. It's about trusting so deeply in what's meant for you that you no longer feel the need to chase it. You don't stop desiring it. You simply stop needing it to feel complete. You release it from the energy of obsession. You move from desperation to devotion, from anxiety to knowing, from begging the universe to becoming a silent witness to its response. Picture someone who has spent years trying to be recognized. They hustle, strive, push, overextend themselves just to be noticed. But nothing seems to work. Then one day, something changes. They stop needing to be validated. They stop asking the world for permission to exist. They start showing up fully and authentically, without performance, without begging to be seen. And suddenly, recognition comes, not because they tried harder, but because they aligned with their truth. Or imagine someone who has been chasing love for years. They live in fear of being alone. They're afraid of their own silence. They move from one person to the next, hoping someone will fill the emptiness inside. But it never works. Then one day, they stop. They make peace with their solitude. They turn inward and begin to cultivate wholeness in their own presence. They start enjoying their own company. And from that space, someone enters their life, not to complete them, but to reflect the peace they now carry. This wasn't the result of chasing. It was the result of resonance. Thoth explained that the universe does not respond to what we say we want. It responds to what we feel is true. And when you vibrate with need, even if you ask for something positive, you're sending out a frequency of lack. But when you let go of need and live in peace, your vibration rises. You start to attract what matches that higher frequency. That's the paradox. The more you feel you need something to feel happy, the more it escapes you. But the moment you find happiness within yourself, without it, it starts moving toward you, not as a test, not as a reward, but as a match to your energy. Nothing in life is punishing you when things don't happen. There is no external force trying to block your blessings. Life is simply responding to the frequency you're carrying. And when that frequency is full of fear, lack, and control, the flow slows down. But when your energy is still, trusting, and surrendered, the invisible begins to work again. And this shift doesn't take years. It doesn't require endless repetition or mastering techniques. One real moment of surrender, one deep breath where you let go, can change everything. But it only works if the seed of your desire was planted in the right soil. Many people try to let go of a dream that was planted in panic, planted in emotional chaos. They let go, but they don't see results because the original energy of that desire was already distorted. Thoth taught that the moment you plant a desire is sacred, like placing a seed in the soil. Your emotion in that moment becomes part of the seed, and that emotion will shape what grows. If you plant your desire with anxiety, that anxiety is absorbed. If you plant it in fear, fear is what grows. But if you plant it with clarity, with love, with peaceful knowing, then that's the frequency the universe responds to. The subconscious is like sacred soil. It receives everything without question. It reflects whatever you put in. That's why Thoth taught that creation must begin in silence, in clarity, in reverence. The ancients knew that the best times to plant your desire are when the conscious mind is soft, just before sleep, upon waking, in deep meditation, or during moments of stillness. Not because of superstition, but because in these moments, the surface noise fades and the subconscious becomes receptive. You don't need elaborate rituals. You just need stillness. You just need sincerity. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Let the day go. Let the noise dissolve. And in that silence, see what you desire. Not as something far away, but as something that already exists. Not as a wish, but as a truth. You're not asking anymore. You're acknowledging. You're not begging. You're accepting. You're not hoping. You're aligning. And once that seed is planted, protect it. Don't disturb the soil with constant checking, doubting, or trying to force growth. Thoth warned that many people kill the seed before it has time to take root. They obsess over signs, repeat affirmations without feeling, visualize with tension instead of trust. And in all their effort, they unknowingly interfere with the very miracle that was already unfolding. Creation needs stillness. It needs darkness. It needs time. Just like a seed in the earth needs quiet to sprout, your desire needs silence to grow. That silence isn't passive. It's powerful. It's the silence of a guardian, a sacred presence that watches over the dream without interfering. Like a warrior standing at the temple gate, you guard your inner world from fear, from doubt, from impatience. This is what Thoth called protective silence. Not the silence of someone who's given up, but the silence of someone who knows, someone who trusts, someone who no longer needs to chase because they've already received it in spirit. And now they're simply waiting for time to catch up with their vibration. During this time, you must protect your energy. Stay away from people who drain your faith. Step back from conversations that spread fear or reinforce lack. Turn down the volume of the outside world so you can hear the quiet voice within. Feed your vibration with gratitude. Remember the times you were guided. Revisit the miracles that already happened. Feel thankful for the things you haven't yet seen, but already sense are coming. This is how you keep your field fertile and resist the urge to interfere. Creation is not sped up through force. You don't need to repeat your intentions 1,000 times. You don't need to visualize with clenched fists. You don't need to push. When you stir the soil too often, you break the root. When you water too much, you drown the seed. Creation is delicate. It needs space. It needs breath. It needs trust. And there is a level even deeper, a sacred space where even visualization is no longer needed, where repetition fades, where effort dissolves, because you've become so aligned with what you desire that your very presence calls it in. You no longer speak your dreams. You radiate them. You don't declare your wishes. You live them in energy. This is the frequency of silent faith, a state where no words are needed because you've already become the vibration of your desire. This is the deepest truth Thoth shared, that real faith is not hoping something will happen. It's living as if it already has. Not from arrogance, not from illusion, but from deep inner knowing. This kind of faith doesn't ask for signs. It doesn't seek approval. It doesn't need to prove anything. It simply walks forward, trusting the invisible with every step. And in that trust, the universe responds. It begins to arrange things in ways you could never plan. People appear, doors open, obstacles dissolve, not because you manipulated it, but because you aligned with it. You became one with the field of creation, and that field always responds. You've seen it already in the lives of others. A man who battled financial struggle for years let go. He stopped fighting and started feeling. He acted from peace. He trusted without panic. And from that shift, opportunities appeared that brought more than he could have imagined. A woman tired of heartache stopped chasing love. She embraced solitude, not out of bitterness, but from wholeness. And then love arrived, strong, calm, real. Another woman fighting illness turned inward. She stopped fearing and started connecting with the health that already existed within her. Slowly, her body responded, not because of a miracle, but because she stopped blocking the natural intelligence of life. These are not stories of fantasy. They are echoes of the sacred truth. The invisible world works when you no longer stand in the way, when you step aside, when you let the divine do what only it can do. Thoth called this the way of alignment, not something to believe blindly, but something to live, something to practice daily, not as a technique, but as a way of being. And this is the most important part of all. This can't just be something you do once when you're desperate. It must become your life, a new state of consciousness, a new frequency that you return to again and again until it becomes who you are. When letting go becomes natural, when trusting becomes automatic, when peace becomes your home. And in that home, nothing can shake you, not because life is perfect, not because problems vanish, but because they no longer have power over you. Your vibration becomes stronger than your circumstance. You become unshakable, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You stop needing to prove. You stop needing to chase. Your presence becomes your proof. Your life becomes your message. This is the true way of creation, the sacred path of surrender, the frequency of silent certainty. And when you live in this way, life flows, people arrive, healing begins, purpose unfolds, and the world, no matter how loud, can no longer shake the quiet truth that lives within you. And if you've made it this far, it means something ancient within you is waking up. A memory, a knowing, a calling. So don't rush past it. Sit with it, feel it, and carry it forward into everything you do. You are not here to force life into shape. You are here to align with it. Let go, trust deeply, and allow the invisible to deliver what only it can. Because now, finally, you are ready to receive.